Well, hello everyone and welcome to Race Talk with Roy Henry. We're here at the famous Lee J. Hall and Lee Joseph home here in Chase, Indiana. And ladies and gentlemen, if we happen to just go right over there a couple miles, we'd be at the famous Henry Speedway. And so Lee J. and Lee Joseph, we look right behind us, there's your house. And then we look in your yard and there are two race cars. And then you keep going, and there's the garage where you work on the race cars right behind the car hauler. Lee J, could you take us a tour of Hall's race shop?
Yeah, we can go for a fast tour around the property.
Let's do it. Here we are at Hall's race shop. Okay. Well, Lee J, could you give us a tour inside of here of all the memorabilia at Hall's race shop? And we're just going to let the camera follow you around. We're going to get out of your way.
Okay, in the race shop, when you go around this way, that's the door from the 2013 car, 2014, and 2015 car over there. Then you go on this way. Up there on the top, that's from the MMA car I used to have. Then the dash that's under it's from the purple street stock I had in 2002, 3, and 4 until I got wrecked. And then just some trophies from Charleston and Fairbury. And Farmer City Line I-100 trophy underneath the bottom. When you scan up here on the top, trunk deck from 2004 car, which is when Lee Joseph was really small. Then Fairbury Fan Club. You scroll across checks from championships at the Camp Motor Speedway.
So, Lee J. Hall, talking about the championships at Camp Motor Speedway, were there 3 championships at Henry Speedway?
4.
4. So these are 3. What's the 4th one?
The MMA car in 1997.
So 1997, and then what?
2003, 2004, and 2006.
Well, Lee J and Lee Joseph, as we do in every video now where we're at the driver's house, we go out with their cars and we walk around the cars and see all the sponsors and also people you say thank you to. And so, Lee J, who are you going to start with?
Well, I'm going to start out with the 2016. We took a different route into racing. I wanted to get Lee Joseph up into a rear-wheel drive car. So we both went factory stock racing, and that made me move down a class and him move a class, but it's been great racing against each other. If you want to go around Lee Joseph's car first, we'll go around his sponsors and who's on his car.
Okay, here we are with Lee Joseph around his car. This is the number 98 car, and Lee Joseph, you drive in the Pure Street at some racetracks, but other racetracks are known as factory stock.
Yep.
And how many years you been driving now?
This will be my 3rd year, but my 1st year in a factory stock.
And you drive the same class as your dad?
Yes, I race against my dad.
So you drive the 98 car, and your dad drives the 90 car.
Yes.
Could you tell us why you have the number 98?
It's a weird story actually, because I was going to take the 90 and he was going to be this number. It's the number me and my dad ran once or twice a couple years ago. But mostly he decided he was going to keep the 90 since he's had it the longest, and he started racing 1990 and also seemed just fit. And I kind of took over his old number of 98.
This is your 3rd year racing. How many wins have you had now in 3 years, counting heat races?
For this year, I won my first heat race ever in a factory stock. Last year at the Charleston Speedway, I had 2 heat wins and 3 features at Charleston, and ended up winning the track championship over there in the Hornet 4-cylinder division. At Vermilion County Speedway, I have 2 feature wins there and 1 heat win. And you have over here at Boswell, I have 3 heat wins there, and also got the Rookie of the Year in 2014.
All right, thank you, Lee Joseph.
You're welcome. All right, here we have HP Machine. Jeff Housen's in Williamsport, Indiana. He's the one that gave us all the power under the hood this year. If you go over here, we have Crick Racing. That's Jared and Andrea Crick. That's my aunt and uncle. They're from Earl Park, Indiana. They did all the body work and stuff this year to the car. JRB Fabrication, that's one of the bigger ones. They did my Uncle Jonah from Danville, Tilton, Illinois. He did all the fabricating on the stuff on this car and making it what it is now from help from my dad. So if you guys want a car built from him, give him a call. As we move back here, we have Dave Taylor Transmissions from Attica. He was a big help this year. He sponsored my transmission for the car this year. We had the Tasty Treat in Boswell. They're a new addition this year. Just picked them up about a week or so ago. We have Bill's Auto in Catlin, Illinois. Go to him if you're in the area for any auto service needs. We have Bears Auto Sales. There is one in Lafayette, and then there is one in Fowler. So if you guys want to get a car from them, you got good deals. You can buy off them if needed. You come back here, we have SparkForFitness.com. That is David Huff with the Spark drink. Check out his website and get what you need. That's it for my car.
Okay, here we are with Lee J. Hall. How many times track champion, Lee J?
11.
11-time track champion. Wow, I'm standing with a celebrity. And so, Lee J., you drive car number 90. Have you always driven car number 90?
No, I've actually won with several different numbers over the years. But 90's been most of it, but I've won a track championship with 37 car.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in 2011, I've driven another guy's car. It was 37 car, and actually won a track championship at Kankakee with 37 car. And I've won several races with a 00 car too over the years, and a 24 car.
So you race in the same class as your son?
Yes.
And this car number 90 is a pure street factory stock car?
Yeah. Right on the 90 for 2016. We've got Holscher powder coating, which they've been a sponsor of mine for almost 25 years. Been really good. Any of the powder coating needs and stuff. Does a lot for a lot of local racers and a lot of local people. Got Bill's Auto from Catlin, Illinois. Just same thing. Any auto needs or anything from them, please go to Bill's Auto. Got Screen Tech Inc., which is from Boswell, Indiana. They do all kinds of screens for aggregate work. Got Bears Auto Sales in Fowler and Lafayette, Indiana. Need any automotive needs, go see them. Got Napa Auto Parts in Fowler, Indiana, which is a big sponsor of ours and takes really good care of us. You got Taylor Transmission, which helped out with both our cars this year. And if any of your training needs, please see Dave Taylor. This right here is the biggest sponsor of all in the Doing What She Likes. That's my wife. She takes care of everything of both of us racing.
All right. Can we go inside your house now and see your trophy room?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are inside the home of Lee J. Hall and Lee Joseph Hall. So much to talk about at this home with these two gentlemen because the history is so vast. Lee J., how old are you now?
I'm 46.
46. Lee Joseph, how old are you?
16.
16. 46 years old. Lee J., can you remember way back when the first time you ever went to a racetrack, where was it at and who were you with?
Oh, that had been with my dad and uncles. First time I remember would have been like Henry's and going to run Solarian around when it was all dirt back in the day, so.
Now, when you were at the racetrack at that age, was your family just there to watch the races?
No, when it first started, my dad raced, but I'm not old enough to remember him racing. So, but then after that, it was pretty much go watch the races for years and help on cars and stuff. So,
as a young child, what are some of the drivers that you remember that you were fascinated by?
oh, as a young child, would have been Dick Potts and Paul Schaefer, Bill Davis. That's just to name a few.
Now, as a child, did you ever think about racing a race car?
Yeah, all the time. That was always on our lane. From dirt bikes at home, anything. That's all we ever did was race each other all the time. So.
Oh, when you say each other, we're talking about your brothers. EJ, tell us about your brothers and sisters. Who are they?
Let's see, start my youngest sister's Tammy, then the next one's Tanya, then I have a brother Andy, and then Clint, and then me.
Okay. Now, if we go up to the 2016, we know the name Tanya Hoskins, we know the name Andy Hall, we know the name Clint Hall, we know the name Lee Joseph Hall and Lee J. Hall. So, tell us the history. Were you the first one in the family to start driving?
No.
Who was?
Actually, clear back to the lane, all my uncles raced, from Uncle Gene, Floyd, my Uncle Buck, my dad raced.
Okay, let's go slow because you're talking a lot of names here.
Yeah.
And this is really, that's why we're here, to talk about the history. So let's say the first name of the first Hall that raced.
That'd been Uncle Gene and Uncle Floyd, probably that I know of.
Okay, is Gene older than Floyd?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have Gene, then Floyd, then who?
Then Uncle Buck raced. Then it moved on to me. And then as it moved up to Lee Joseph, so he's about fourth generation driver.
So it was Gene, Lloyd, Buck,
Mm-hmm.
Lee J, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Then Lee Joseph.
And Lee Joseph. But when you count your brothers and sister,
Mm-hmm.
how did that order go?
It still is. I was first, then Clint, then Andy, then Tanya started racing in 14 or 14. Yeah, 14.
Well, Lee J. Hall, 11-time track champion, and here is the very first car that he was driving, and here's the very first trophy from the very first win. This says Henry Speedway, Trophy Dash, first place. Here we are in the trophy room of Lee J. Hall and Lee Joseph Hall. And Lee J. and Lee Joseph, could you tell us what you can about your trophies and awards?
Well, that's just where we keep like the championship trophies and stuff, just to keep them in and keep in good shape. I mean, worked a lot of hours to get all these. They range from my first championship in 1993 to my last one in 2015 at Charleston Speedway. We've just got a lot of different things going on over here, from 2003 Sportsman of the Year, the Camp Motor Speedway, the championship from the V37 at Kankakee. This was from this year when I went to Kokomo Speedway, finished third over there. They give trophies all the way down to third. That photo there is from the Fairbury American Legion Speedway. That was one of my favorite races with Eddie Wolf. That's a really cool photo that Brett Moyes took. This is a Sportsman Award from Kankakee County Speedway when I won the championship up there. Always really proud of the Sportsman Awards that I got. Just you go along, well, it's just stuff from years and years of racing. I've been doing this a long time. It's hard to remember every trophy I got and all the stuff I got, but it's been a really great thing, and it's glad to get my son involved in making the Halls Race Shop maybe live on.
Well, to start this out, this is from my first year racing in the Sport Compact at the Benton County Speedway in Boswell. This would have been, I finished third in the point standings, so I would have got Rookie of the Year for my first year. Fast forward to last year, 2015, I finished 5th in the Southern Region from racing at Charleston Round in the UMP standings. And I won the track championship at Charleston Speedway also last year in 2015.
Now here we are with more of the family. Lee J, you and your wife go way back with racing. And could you tell us, where did you meet your wife?
I met her at the Henry Speedway.
You met your wife at Henry Speedway. Do you remember that night, what was going on, and where was she sitting, where were you sitting? What took place?
Actually, she come got my autograph.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All started with an autograph.
Wow. So then what happened next?
Just things went on, progressed. Then we ended up getting married at the racetrack in 1999.
So wait a minute. So she came and got your autograph. So then did she come back and talk with you again? Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Where was your first date?
Actually went to the movies on our first date.
You remember the? Do you remember the movie?
No, I have no idea.
Do you remember the movie?
I think it was Nowhere to Run. The races got canceled that night at VCS.
Oh, the races got canceled at VCS,
Yep.
so you went to see a movie. Who took you to the races, Felicia?
My dad. Yep, all 6 kids.
Okay, now we're really getting into the story, because when, boy, this, I don't know which family's more famous, the woman behind or the man here, because it's kind of a combination. because your maiden name is
Bino.
Bino.
Mhm.
And so when you say Bino, now okay, who is your sister that somehow connects the Cricks?
Oh, Andrea. Andrea.
Your sister is Andrea.
Mhm.
Who's the oldest?
My brother Joe.
Your brother Joe.
Yeah.
Is Joe the one that works at the racetrack now?
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So then your dad is the one that has the long beard that's always sitting up front.
Yep. Yep.
So how old are you? I mean, as far as the age of Lee J, how are you? Are you a little bit older or a little bit younger?
No, younger. 40.
A little bit younger. So then, when you went to the races, who went to the racetrack first? Your family or his family?
Oh, I'm sure he was ready racing when I got there. Yep. We went for a demo.
So he was kind of like a superstar, sort of?
Maybe.
See, that's good.
Yeah.
Probably back in that day, the superstar was Darren Bowman.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Lee J, what'd you just say?
So probably back in them days, the superstar would have been Darren Bowman.
Because that's so interesting, because just not so long ago, Darren Bowman came to the races at BCS, and he was by himself, and he was sitting up there by himself in the bleachers, and I went down and told the Oberles, and Billy Joe? What's her
Billy
name?
Joe Neal.
Billy Joe Neal was there, and she goes, "That's really Darren Bowman? He used to be my superstar."
Now, back in the day, I mean, the whole story goes back, and all this racing is clear back in the days we were in there. It used to be there was 4 of us that graduated from high school together that all raced at the same time at the racetrack.
And who's that?
It was Darren Bowman,
Brian Bros.
Brian Brost,
Goebel?
Scott Goebel, and me. All raced at the racetrack at the same time.
And you went to school at Benton Central?
Yep, all went to school at Benton Central together, all graduated in the class of '88 together.
Graduated 1988. Mom, what year did you graduate?
94.
And what school did you go to?
At Chrisman, Illinois.
Chrisman, Illinois.
Mhm.
So if it wasn't for racing, most likely you guys wouldn't have met each other.
Right.
And most likely there would have never been a Lee Joseph. Now there is one more person missing that we need to bring in here. We need to bring little Madison in. Come on, Madison. So Madison, how old are you?
12.
12 years old. Have you always went to the racetrack with your mom and dad and brother?
Yeah.
When you're at the racetrack, what do you do?
Sometimes my grandpa's there. You should go up in the stands and make sure he's all right and doing stuff. And then,
And so when you're talking about your grandpa, you're talking about Mr. Bino.
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And otherwise, I'm in the pits helping out.
But you also do something else as well, because sometimes you get up and go to the microphone.
Yeah, I do.
And what do you say when you get on the microphone? That you want somebody to win?
Yeah, I want these 2 to win.
Now, how old are you, Madison?
12.
12 years old. And so you were 9 years old when Lee Joseph started racing. So for a while you had just your dad racing.
Yeah.
What changed when your brother got out on the racetrack and you're watching both of them?
Oh, yeah. It was easier when he was driving his Hornet, because I record. It's easier to record him and easier. But then now that they're in pure stocks, always pray that they're in different heats so I can watch both of them.
But now sometimes they're not in different heats. And what's it like watching them race side by side? For example, I heard somebody talking. It was Lee Joseph. Lee Joseph was saying, "Dad, why'd you run into me?" or something like that. How did you see that?
Well, I didn't actually. I really don't know how it went on.
Well, in our video yesterday with Daryl and Marvin Burton, they were standing side by side and they touched each other, and Daryl said, "Hey, that's rubbing." How would you guys explain rubbing, and where does rubbing turn into something else?
When you're racing, I mean, you always have a little rub in racing. I mean, that's the thing. But when you get, I don't know where it turns into something else.
where they shove you clear deep in the corner and turn you around.
Yeah,
That's when it's not rubbing anymore.
There you
When
go.
They don't let off.
They just has got the good
I got experience.
Now, Lee J, when you're out on the track with Lee Joseph,
Mhm.
how do you see that car number 98? Do you see that's my son, or you see that's just another competitor out there on the track?
Nope, that's my son. Not that I don't run him hard, but he's still my son, so.
But if you're coming up to the checkered flag and you're side by side and you know your horsepower might be just a little bit greater, what do you do?
If you win, you can win. That's how that is.
That's the way I thought it was supposed to be.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
Lee Joseph, is there a story that you raced with your mom? What is this?
It would have been the end of last year at Vermilion County Speedway. My cousin Natalie was going to race Clint Hall's car in the powder puff that night, and she was kind of nervous about it all night. And my cousin had actually run the car in the mechanics race beforehand, and then she was going to jump in for the powder puff, which involved my mom's friends and actually sister too. Andrea was racing the Smokin' Joe's car. And I kind of walked over there. I was in, just regular clothes, and I thought, man, it'd be funny if I got in there and raced, because my cousin backed out at the last second. Natalie did, because she got kind of nervous about it, and she decided to back out. And so I hurried up, put all Clint's stuff on, and went out there and raced her in the powder puff until the last lap when I pulled off. So, because technically it's supposed to be out there, but...
That's pretty interesting. Now, Madison
Yeah.
and Felicia, can you tell us what it's like to be in the stands or in the pits, but you're watching your son, your brother, your dad, your husband out there racing, and what happens when there's an accident? How do you guys react to accidents? And can you remember the worst accident, and which accident can you remember that really maybe shook you up?
Actually, me and Graham was just talking earlier about this one. He was racing his purple car, and he ended up flipping it really bad. My Graham said he thought I was going to cry or something, and he said I just stood there, he helped me get up to see a better view and still didn't cry.
No, Manny, you were 2 months old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
I
remember
don't
it. It would have
remember
been me standing up. I remember it.
Yep.
That was the worst one that I've seen
2004.
him in, yes.
When he rolled the purple car she's talking about.
And did he just roll once, or?
No, it was quite a few times. It was going for the lead, and
Tire
how
come
many
off.
was that? 3 or
I
4
don't know.
times?
You lost a wheel, the tire?
No, the guy in front of me did.
The guy in front of me did it. And so then what happened?
Just run over it, and the rest is history.
Oh, I see. Now, was that your first time rolling over?
No. I had an MMA car upside down in front of it. It is a lot easier to roll than that. It was just up on the sled and stop, so.
Now, have either one of you been hurt in an accident?
I've had the wind and stuff knocked out of me. I mean, other than that, not too much. I mean,
Lee Joseph was telling us about a time you used to race asphalt and dirt, and maybe both in the same year.
yeah, that would have been, see, when I started racing, 1990, 91, 92, I raced all asphalt just at Henry's. In 93, I went to the dirt scene and ran a full year at Danville or VCS and won the championship down there. It had been my very first championship against the likes of Kevin Allen and Marcus Phelps and them guys. And they really took it kindly to me as a younger guy and taught me some ropes of dirt. So that really was pretty cool.
Lee J, tell us all the tracks that you've raced at.
Oh, all the tracks I raced at? That's a long list.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
I don't know if I can remember them all. Got them all in your head?
Danville.
So it'd be
Boswell.
Danville, Boswell, Kankakee, Fairbury, Charleston, Farmer City, South Lake Motor Speedway,
Montpelier.
Montpelier, Gas City,
Eliana.
Eliana, Kokomo, Salem,
Salem.
Indiana,
Hold
Fayette
on.
County, which Brownstown, Illinois.
Macon.
Yep, Macon Speedway. Forgot about the mighty Macon Speedway. And what you thinking there? I think that's about all of them.
Now, Lee J, what is it that draws drivers to go to other racetracks?
It's the sport of competition. Some tracks got better competition than others. I mean, that's what drives me. I like going where there's a lot of cars and a lot of competition. Makes it fun. So that's what drives me, whether you're winning or losing. The competitive side-by-side racing's what really is the key to racing.
Now, Lee Joseph, was there anything you'd like to say to your mom and your dad on camera while we have this video? Because this is a historic video. We are inducting yourself into the Henry Speedway Hall of Fame and your dad into the Hall of Fame. A video that's always going to be remembered.
I'd like to thank them both for helping me get into this sport, my mom for supporting me, and my dad for teaching me how to do all the mechanical stuff on the cars.
Lee Joseph, would you like to say thank you to your grandpa or anybody like that?
Yeah, for him to come out there and support me, my sister for recording me every night so I can watch, and her for supporting me too.
Thank you.
And just my whole family for supporting me and helping me out when they can.
Lee J, it's your turn. Who would you like to say thank you to? How would you like to go about this on this occasion that we're all going to remember this night?
I just got to thank everybody that's always helped me in their racing career. Had a really good career, and I mean, it's been really fun teaching him. This year's kind of been the set back and have fun and help him, and I've had a good time this year. Really had a good time running the same class with him. Kind of a different shift gears where we sold everything we had last year and started over this year, so, and it's worked out pretty well. It's been pretty fun this year.
What would you like to say to your wife, Felisha?
Oh, she's the big part of all of it. No one sees her behind the scenes and helps from everything, getting us to the track and getting us back home at night, because Ida can't drive at night, so she's the nighttime
Is
driver.
that right? I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
She's
Well,
the
he
toter.
can.
He can. He likes to
just
fall
chooses
asleep.
not to.
Fall asleep.
And how about your daughter?
Oh, she does really good video and everywhere, so she does really good. And if you see her in a lot of pictures, like the first time I won at Fairbury, that was probably one of the memorable nights where she got a picture with her with my car in Victory Lane and that stuff. So it was really good at Fairbury that night. So that's a tough track to tame, and it was pretty much an honor just to get a feature win there. So
I've heard a lot about Fairbury. Now, Lee J, there might be one event that took place at the racetrack that hundreds and thousands of people will end up watching this video. Tell us, where did you and your wife get married?
we got married in the Victory Lane of the Henry Speedway, and Roy had the microphone right down there with it.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Wow, I must be getting a little bit old time. And what year was that?
That would have been 1999.
And who else was right there with us? You remember who was standing there?
Oh, that'd been my brother Clint, both her sisters. My dad was down there. I don't remember who else was down
Kevin
there.
and Jamie.
Yeah, Kevin and Jamie Kozlowski. So,
Well, Lee J and Lee Joseph, I wanted to ask you guys, what are your feelings towards the fact that we are now establishing the Henry Speedway Hall, Wall, and Mall of Fame?
well, I think it's a good thing you're getting going as far as keeping history alive of all these racetracks, because like me, I've got a lot of history here that no one sees, and how long I've been doing it. A lot of people don't realize how long I've actually been racing and doing things, and it's kind of, that's why I've got Lee Joseph and just try to keep things going, just like you're trying to do with the videos stuff, to keep from your dad and Henry Speedway and get it going. I mean, your dad was an awesome guy. I remember meeting him for the first time when I was out there. It had been middle 80s, somewhere in that neighborhood, you know, when I met your dad the first time, and we started doing stuff with figure eight cars with J.R. Jones and Tony Bennett and stuff like that, and on into 1990, and I started racing yet when your dad owned the track, so.
Well, I'm kind of taken away that you can say you remember the first time you met my dad. What was going on at that time?
I had just normal races, but your dad always had a big smile on his face, and he welcomed everybody to the racetrack any night. It didn't matter when it was, so that was the great thing about your dad.
That was another thing that was said, I think, in the video from last night, that even no matter how many people were in the stands, they said my dad always had a smile and would always wave at everybody. A lot of people talk about he's always had a hot dog in his hand. But
Probably my wife probably remember a hot dog with barbecue on top.
He'd come in there and want a barbecue sandwich, but had 2 hot dogs on it, and put the bun on top.
did you work in the concessions?
Yep, yep. I worked for Rose in the concession.
You worked for my mom in the
Yep.
concession stand.
Yep.
Where was I at when you were doing that?
Oh, probably announcing.
Okay.
Probably announcing. Yeah.
I seen that picture of you with the long hair.
Oh, yeah, I got a little slack from that. But you're kind of working on that a little bit. What you guys feeling about the property that's right across the street from the entrance to the track that's owned by Bob and Gail Camp, because they have said that we can have that property for the Hall of Fame now, have permission to build a building there. Bob said, Roy, how can you build a building? You don't have any money. I said, well, if it's the Father's plan, it'll happen. Well, what do you think about putting a building on that property?
That'd
I
be a
say
great
do it.
thing.
It'd
I
be
know.
great. It'd be awesome. Invite everyone you can there just to go there, have a good time, and enjoy what's there, and
See history.
see history.
I mean, your video archives are great, but yeah, the whole Hall of Fame, that's pretty cool too. I know you've been working on it for a couple years, so hopefully it comes around where it happens.
Now, the building was right there in the middle, then you can have space around it. What a lot of people would like to see is that old number 90 restored and up there alongside the building. How could we get that to happen?
I still have it. It's in storage at her dad's house in Aquanza, but it'd take a little doing to get her dug out nowadays. It's been in storage since about 2001. If I slow down for racing a little bit, that could happen.
You take it to the Illinois vintage racing, pull out and do some vintage racing, go all around, race them guys.
Oh, no. We've thought about that too once we've seen them at Fairbury. So that was kind of a cool deal too.
Lee J and Lee Joseph, you two have driven at VCS for Million County Speedway. What do you think of that racetrack?
I like it. I've won probably more championships there than anywhere because I've won 4 at camp and I've won 5 at Vermilion County over the years. Then I won 1 at Kankakee and 1 at Charleston.
So you enjoy the racetrack over there, and you'd like to see the track open every week.
Oh yeah, I would probably consider that. I mean, honestly, over the years, that track's probably been one of the better tracks to me. I don't know why, but it's just been one of my favorite tracks. You gotta drive. It's like a little Darlington or somewhere. You gotta drive the racetrack as much as everyone else racing it.
Are you racing anywhere on Sunday nights now?
No, I'll go to Kokomo occasionally when they have the factory stops over there. So, but that's not an every Sunday deal at Kokomo.
What would you think if BCS was back to Sunday night racing every week?
We'd
That would
be
be
there.
yeah. Sunday or Friday night, either one would be there either night.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are at a historic racing family. The entire family, almost. Now with this trophy is from a win by Felisha in the Powder Puff. Felisha, can you tell us about racing in the Powder Puff? And also, I'd like you to mention the name Linda Gregory, because we did the video with Justin and Brent Gregory, and Linda is the mother of Brent and Justin. And so tell us about this story.
Oh, well, I used to watch Linda race Jim's car on when it was asphalt all the time, and she was good. She was fast. I mean, before I was even in a car. I think my first race was, what, 93?
Mm-hmm.
In yours at
Yeah,
Danville,
mine
the
at
Nova?
Danville.
So, whenever Linda's in a race, you know you're pretty much not going to win. So I was able to beat her in 2014. That was a big deal.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our 2 cameramen and Cameron's mothers here. And what's interesting is the point is that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us here to make this video, to make decisions, discussions, comments, and now we have this is video number 9. In 9 videos, we have our first lady driver now that was a Powder Puff winner. And so it was brought up tonight that the Lady Powder Puff drivers should also be in the Hall of Fame with the men drivers. How many vote for that? Let's see your hand raised up.
We'll vote for it. You gotta make sure you induct Linda in there too.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today's date is July 1st, 2016. Lee J. Hall, we'd like to now officially induct you into the Henry Speedway Hall of Fame as 11-time track champion. How do you feel?
Thank you, Roy. I mean, appreciate it. Appreciate you keeping all the history going. I mean, there's a lot to it. And
Okay, Lee Joseph, we're so happy about this night here tonight. You're a track champion from last year, along with your dad. Okay. Well, tonight you are now officially inducted into the Henry Speedway Hall of Fame. How do you feel?
Pretty good. I'm just like him. I'm glad you're just keeping history alive.
All right. Now, let's go with Mom. Mom, we have made history here tonight, July 1st, 2016, inducting the very first woman into the Hall of Fame, Powder Puff driver. Felisha, how do you feel?
Good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you doing all this.
Okay. Okay, Madison, tonight you are now officially inducted into the Wall of Fame. And when we have our building, when we have the Wall of Fame, that will be all the pictures will be along on the wall as you walk around the building, because what do you see on the wall in the house of your home? Pictures of the family. So we're going to have to put a picture of you up on the wall in the Hall of Fame. Madison Hall. How do you feel, Madison?
I feel great, and thanks for keeping all the history of the Henry Speedway alive for all of us.
Thank you. And Madison, you are the youngest one now inducted into the Wall of Fame. How old are you again?
12.
Okay, thank you. Now, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring in our cameramen, Cameron, the cameraman, and Trevor. And this time, we'd like to introduce our new addition to the filming. She is kind of our director now. She does a really good job. What is your name, young lady?
Kathy.
Kathy,
Smith.
what's your last name?
Smith.
And are you related to anybody here standing?
Cameron, the cameraman that's hiding behind me?
There's too many people to get a straight line, so.
It's okay.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for making history here at the Hall family, July 1st, 2016. Everybody wave. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.